again, this is Gemma with your private reading, and I'm going to use, with each private reading I do different formations on the cards. So for you, I know you've mentioned that this is really to do with career and friendships, and that you're feeling rudderless, which I thought was a really nice way of putting it. I totally get what you mean. So I'm going to do, I was considering doing like a set piece spread, but I tend to find they don't work so well for me. I miss things when I do that. So I'm doing it intuitively, and we're going to use 6 cards from Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot, which I don't use much, but today, yes, these cards feel great. Now, I may have to refer to the book just in case. That one. They do feel very zingy though. And they do offer themselves up nicely too, which means it's the right way to go. I'm not going to do reversals with these. Don't know why, I just don't feel it's the right thing. Now, in my little box here, let's just put those there. You can hear creaking, it's my old stool. I am going to use one of my animal spirit cards as well. Nice. Stephen Farmer. I feel like it should be that one as well. Oh, that one. Okay, you've got 2 of them. 2 were fighting, so 2 are coming out. Now then, we are also having Doreen Virtue's Life Purpose cards, methinks. There they are. Finally organised myself in a drawer. It's that card. So all my tarot cards are actually in one place. They might come out again though, so we're going to put them up here. Right, we'll have a look at what we've got here, because we've got 9, and then we'll see, and we can draw some more. Wow. You're Cancer, aren't you? Yes. Wow. Okay, that's a nice card too. Wow, this is pretty nice. Okay, we've got King of Fire, the Empress, the Ego, and I don't know which one that is. I'm going to have to look it up because it's slightly different. We've also got the Knight of Fire. Pretty gorgeous. Queen of Water. Lovely. And the Ace of Water. And then we've got Penguin. I can't pronounce this, but it's an owl. Pueo, which is a Hawaiian owl. And we got Study. Now, in the middle is the card I used to represent the person. So for you, we've got the Queen of Water. Now, you are a Cancerian sun and moon, aren't you? So this is you, Queen of Water. Water sign, tender-hearted, empathetic, patient and loving. Very nurturing as well. Cancerians are very nurturing, especially if you've got Cancer sun and moon, because obviously Cancer moon is a very strong placement for your moon sign. But I also feel as well, I'm not doing reversals, but I take into account both sides of it, if that makes sense. I also feel you've been feeling quite deeply emotional. So this situation is not just a simple, I need a job, or I need to, you know, polish up my CV. This is more of a whole life thing. To do with your home, to do with your neighbourhood, to do with your friends, to do with belonging. That's the word I'm getting. You feel like you don't quite belong for some reason. Let me see what that ego card is before we do anything else. That's annoying, it doesn't tell me. Right, I'm going to look it up. Trying to think if I've got another book. Yes. Look it up in my mini book of tarot, because I have to know. I should know what it is, but I don't recognise it. Okay. This is in Roman numerals. Right. That's going to be XV. Okay, the Devil. Right. Doreen Virtue just didn't want to put the Devil on a card. That's okay, right, that gives me a much better idea. So you've been feeling kind of trapped, but also kind of emotional and like you don't belong and you're not anchored. Like you said, rudderless, which I really liked. Now, I don't know if you're having trouble at work at the moment with colleagues. There is a need, because you are Cancerian, Queen of Water, you're quite, you maybe don't jump up and defend your territory quite as much as you should do. So here we have the Knight of Fire, which it says, a sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. Passionate, adventurous, self-assured and restless. That's your knight, you know, rah, with his wand and all the rest of it. You need to behave more like that, because you also have the King of Fire. Now, the only other thing is that this could represent a boss. I don't know if you have probably a male boss who's really bossy, because the Knight of Fire and the King of Fire, that's a lot of people charging around with wands and horses and stuff with fires. That's like someone who goes around lighting fires, you know, that kind of boss who's firing things off at you. Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done this? And what about that? I don't know if that person is a thorn in your side. But you need to rise up and be more like that yourself. It says focus, 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 communicate with vision, be a leader, advice from someone creative. Or you need to be more creative instead of secretly creative, because Cancerians are always creative. Now you've got the Empress here. And the Empress is an incubator of sorts, either of children, obviously, because it's like the mother card. Doreen Virtue talks about giving birth to your dreams. So do you have something that you dream of doing creatively that you're not doing at the moment? Are you angry with yourself because you're not doing it? It also implores you to nurture yourself and others. Now, I'm sure you nurture others, but I don't know if you're nurturing yourself, because this is a transitional time. But you feel, when we have the devil, or if they're going to call it ego, we'll call it ego. When this card comes up, there is, it says here, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. I mean, a sense of entrapment is a sense of entrapment. Whether it's true or not doesn't really always matter, because you're still feeling trapped. But I feel there's some negative thoughts that are keeping you tied to a place you don't want to be. Now, I don't know. Yeah. I just get the feeling you've really fallen out with a bunch of people, perhaps at work. And that you want to do something else. Maybe even move home. It's been difficult though. It's definitely been difficult. See here, you've got the Ace of Water, which is actually a great card. It's the Ace of Cups. Falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, a new home. So this is, especially for a water sign, this is a very good new beginning. Much more in tune with who you are. I feel like the life you're leading at the moment is a bit of a mask. It's not really authentic for you. And you feel uncomfortable in it, and you know it's not. But whatever this fear or phobia is that you've got, you feel like you're trapped where you are. Now you've got Penguin, which is a beautiful card. The period of darkness you've been experiencing is now passing. I'm going to have a look, actually, and see if because he's got loads of insights, this guy. Put those up there. Let's have a look at lovely penguin. I love penguins as well. And of course they're quite into water. You've endured hardships in your life, sometimes gracefully and sometimes awkwardly. Yet they've taught you life lessons that have been invaluable in forming the person you are today. These experiences have influenced the kind of personality and character you possess. However, the path you've taken has ultimately been influenced by the choices you've made in response to these experiences. This is especially true with your most recent cycle. This is the kind of fallout that I feel that you've had. One that has presented many challenges that you've dealt with successfully. That period of travail is passing, and whether or not you're aware of it, it's contributed significantly to your spiritual growth. Now, the Ace of Water is also the card of spiritual growth. Emerging from this period, you'll still be faced with a few challenges, but you'll be ready to face them with the courage and inner strength you've mustered during this period of struggle. You've discovered resources you never knew you had, and these will serve you well for the rest of your life. Your faith in life's unfoldment and your greater awareness of your soul's destiny will help you deal with everything that comes your way with self-confidence, grace, and fluidity. Making conscious and deliberate choices now becomes your top priority. That's more like these guys. I mean, they don't mess about. As a water sign, I'm a water sign too, we're not good at charging in for what we want and standing up for what we want. And we're not sometimes good at focusing or feeling that we deserve it, or having, actually, fair enough, having enough ego to say what we want and what's important to us. Making conscious and deliberate choices now becomes top priority, as these have the potential to dramatically alter your life. Determination, focus, endurance, self-confidence, respect, gracefulness, agility, fluidity, etiquette, clarity, awareness, willingness, sturdiness, and intention. I feel like you need to do what my mum used to call the black dress and pearls, where you, instead of apologising for yourself, especially if it's in this workplace, you start floating around in a black dress and pearls, like you own the place. More confident. Even fake it till you make it, because the rest will follow. Now, I don't know as well, with the Empress, I don't know if there's any issues to do with this situation and children, either having had children or not having had children, or having issues with fertility, or something to do with that is in the mix. I don't know what it is, but it's in the mix. This is quite a deep crossroads that you're at. It's not just, like I said, you know, shall I carry on with my career in banking or whatever, or, you know, it's more of a transformational, personal transformation. So you've got the Pueo that I can't pronounce. This is telling you that you have ancestral spirit guides offering guidance, and to pay close attention to signs and omens, especially at the moment, because today was the full moon in Virgo and you've got Virgo rising. Now, on your life purpose card, it's come up with study. And look at that. Next to the owl, we've got the owl on his shoulder. So this is very important. Reading, research and education helps you gain confidence and clarity about your career. Now, I'm going to take one more life purpose card. One has decided to fall out on its own there. Okay. Your life purpose fully supports you. Now, I don't know if you're worried about... Sorry, I'm just looking for the little booklet for that, which I just had. I don't know if you're worried at all about not being able to support yourself if you leave your job. Yeah, you've drawn this card as a sign you're fully supported, as long as you fully commit to your life purpose. Hold positive intentions and follow your divine guidance, which is the same as what that's saying. You may feel insecure about making a career transition. You might feel stuck in a job that offers financial security but few other rewards. Maybe you've outgrown a profession that once fascinated you. Or you could be wondering how to build a financial foundation for a spiritually based business. The angels ask you to lean on them as trustworthy business partners who illuminate and support your path. Your role is to continuously talk with them, silently is fine, about your hopes, dreams, expectations, insecurities and other issues. Tell them everything. Then listen to their answers, which come to you strong and reoccurring feelings, ideas and signs. If you're unsure whether this guidance is accurate, request additional signs and clarification. It's like asking for an angel receipt. Like the world's best co-workers, the angels only have your happiness, peace of mind and best interests at heart. That's very interesting. I am going to also draw, so I'm whipping around my oracle cards at the moment. One from Belinda Grace. It does sound like there is something you have in mind, and studies coming up really strong. But like I say, it says here, this period of darkness you've been experiencing, it feels bad. It does feel to me like it's some of the issues about this have touched the very core of you. And this is about that. This is about the very core of you. It's got issues to do with family. It's got issues to do with home. There's issues to do with supporting yourself, moving perhaps. Feeling good enough. I keep getting bullying coming in. I don't know if there's been bullying at work or if you experienced bullying at school, but it's coming in extremely strong to me. Let's have a look. Oh, you. No, not you. You. Not always the first card you see. Yeah, again, you see, the goddess. There's a very strong, I don't know, because I don't ever use these angel tarot cards. Hardly ever. Don't feel drawn to them. But everything I'm getting for you has got to do with spirits, ancestral spirits, angels, relying on them, asking for guidance. I think we need to take that advice. Okay. Your life is influenced by the goddess energies. The disempowered version of the goddess shows up in our lives as unbalanced emotion, neediness, depression, holding on to negative situations, inability to let go. It can even show up as an unhealthy relationship with food. Don't want to read about the men because you're not a man. The divine empowered feminine is reaching out to you now and asking you to look at any area on the feminine side of your life that's not harmonious. Now this is also the Empress for this. Make a commitment to yourself to improve your connection to the inner goddess. The goddess energies are self-loving, again, nurturing, creative, receptive and abundance. It's all the feminine things. They handle life gently and patiently and are open to talking things through. The goddess is never weak nor manipulative or overbearing. Her vulnerability and openness are her strengths. Like you, deep down, the goddess knows that by expressing her true feelings, and I feel like you haven't been, in a loving and respectful way and honouring herself and others, that everyone can win. The goddess is the embodiment of plenty and revival. Same as the Empress. There is an issue with you about this. I think you're feeling half the person you are, or could be. Call on the goddess presence within you to help you allow more of her beauty, peace and abundance and love into your life. Honour her presence in your home with a beautiful bunch of flowers and celebrate the beauty of the goddess in your world. Now, I'm getting my little... I'm getting a real... excuse me. a real... a feeling that you've had hurt feelings. I don't know if you've become disconnected from a very good friend or a group of 3 of you. Let's have a look in here. I just want to do a couple of clarifiers. Oh, there you go, 3 cards came out on their own. Let's clarify this ego devil. Oh, again. Okay. We now have the Page of Wands. Got all the wands, all the men wands. The Knight of Swords. And the Ten of Pentacles. So your fears do revolve around abundance and money. They don't need to, because when the Ten of Pentacles rocks up in a reading, that's good money. I mean, it doesn't get much better than 10 gold coins in a chest. But it's coming up as a clarifier for the Devil card or for the Ego card, for fear-based thoughts, for things that you feel chain you to something. Now, I don't know if some of these issues go back to either a divorce or to your father. I'm just getting so many fire sign men coming up. Unless there's a relationship, unless you're in a relationship with a fire sign man, or it's a boss, an overbearing male boss. But that just keeps coming up. Now we also have the Knight of Swords. That is, I think, harsh words. Knight of Swords is always delivering things roughly, cruelly, bluntly and quick. And I feel there's been roughly, cruelly, bluntly and quick gone on for you. And it's left you very rattled. Let's have a look. I just want to clarify the Empress a bit. Is there something that you want to study? Anything involving research, spirituality, doing a degree? It just says that that kind of thing will give you more confidence and clarity about your career. It doesn't feel like it's a work-related course to me. Ooh. It's you and it's you. Right, let's have a look. The Empress. Yeah. Okay. Five of Wands. And the Four of Cups. Now, the Five of Wands. This is the card. It's funny, I was reading about this card in the bath actually before doing this reading. This is the card of sometimes working against yourself. It can happen when we're so disillusioned, which is the Four of Cups. That's the card of disillusionment, especially for Cancer. We're so disillusioned that any solutions that come, we sort of swipe them away, we bat them down, we get very negative thinking. If you're in the feminine, which is the Empress, you need to be more receptive, because there is a very strong notion here that guidance is all around you. And I don't always get that for people, but I do get it for you, and that you are supported. But fear is getting in the way of you seeing it. Fear is getting in the way of you doing it too. Fear about money, and fear about how others may see you and about your reputation I'm also getting. But there's no need to fear that, because actually this is quite a nice reading. But you are a very sensitive soul, and that's actually a beautiful thing, and a very feminine thing, and a very powerful thing. But there's nothing wrong in being authentic to that. I feel like the situation that you've had at work, you've perhaps had to, like I said, wear a mask and not be yourself in order to fit in with a rather explosive situation, a rather cutting situation. Let's just just have a look at your, yeah, again. Now, where is he? So you have Archangel Michael. That is an angel you can unburden on. Has an infinite ability to shoulder people's burdens. Especially if you do it soon, because we just had the Virgo full moon today and you've also got listening. Look out for signs. Look out for songs coming on the radio, people talking, you know, snippets of conversation in the street. But switch off your ears. It's not listening as in straining to hear something or listening to someone else. It's a feminine kind of listening. It's more of an open kind of listening. I'm just going to, sorry, I'm thinking as I go along, as ever. I just want to do an Ask Your Guides card, because you've got so much about asking your guides in this. I feel like you're very spiritual, actually, whether you know that or not. That doesn't come through for many people, but it's really coming through for you. If you ask, you will be given, as it, oh, there it is. If you ask, you will be given. Both the support and the signs. Yeah. Truth and higher self. Now, do I know? Ooh, I am the messiest tarot reader in town, you know. Yes. Ask your guides. I just want to see, I haven't missed anything, because I know that I will have done. 21. Good number. Okay, yes, this makes sense. Your higher self is present, activating your powers of reason and intellect. It tells you to develop clarity and objectivity when looking at your life, like these kings and knights of fire do, blasting through. Rather than interpreting events through the murky, distorted waters of emotion. This is the Queen of Water that we have in the middle. Strive to see the reality of what happened in the past, so you can acquire a more accurate understanding of what's going on. You may notice things that make you uncomfortable or challenge your ethics, and I think that's what's been happening in your work and your friends. Ask your higher self to give you the courage to stand up for your truth. King of Fire, Knight of Fire, Page of Wands. Ask your higher self to give you the courage to stand up for your truth and address difficult situations at their core, rather than distance yourself and pretend you don't see the real problems because they make you feel uncomfortable. Like the child in the fairy tale, The Emperor's New Clothes, your higher self is motivating you to not only see life more deeply, but share your perceptions with those around you. And that could be to do with your studying, because you could be writing, doing a blog, or sharing it somehow. This is the time to address your unbalanced budget and look for ways to cut corners. It's also the time to acknowledge an expanding waistline and seek out what's really eating at you. This is when you need to step away from your emotions and dispassionately study the problems at hand, so you can come to a solution without blame and projection. Ask yourself what the problem is, not who the problem is. Only then can you begin to find real solutions. Your higher self is sharpening your perception, clarifying your view, so you can make important and necessary changes at this time. As Carl Jung said, when the diagnosis is correct, the healing begins. And your higher self message is look for truth beneath the appearances. Now, I think what that also is saying is that you need to look at this situation, what's happened with friends and what's happened with work, and have a completely honest reckoning with yourself about any part of it that belongs to you. And I'm not talking blame, not talking, you know, that you're good, they're bad, whatever it is, not good and bad or judging, but just acknowledging to yourself what part of it belongs to you, so that you can, the rest of it will kind of fall away if you do that. But ask for guidance for it. You've got so many cards about asking for guidance. And also the study card. Very, very important. Owls have come up twice. Very important. You need to make a study of yourself for a start. You need to maybe make a study of some of the angels, Archangel Michael. You could research a bit of that. Nothing serious, just a bit of research about how to, they say what you can't alter, put on the altar, like that. And then look for the signs. Listen for the signs, but don't strain for the signs. You need to acknowledge yourself. You need to look at the shadow side of yourself. You need to acknowledge the whole situation, dark and light, and then speak up for yourself. If you speak up for yourself, people will fall away where previously they've overwhelmed you. I hope that that gives you some clarity, Anne. It's a very deep, but very positive and very spiritual reading. Let me know how it resonates with you. Okay, see you soon. Bye.